On episode 188 of the Reasons I'm Broke podcast, we've got Godzilla, the giant monster from Japan, in his latest feature film.
We also cover the latest addition to Justice League's Parts 1 and 2.
And our comic book highlight this week is Batman Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 5. All of this and more on today's show. Welcome to the Reasons I'm Broke podcast. I'm Daniel.
And I'm Kelly.
Every week we cover comics, movies, TV, video games, and more. If you're a new brokehead, we'll cover the story and the news first, and then we do our comic book highlight for this week.
We do like to start out every podcast, though, with a story of the week. And Dan, you have a pretty amazing story this week.
I got to meet, for the first time in my life, two of the biggest heads of DC right now. Dan DiDio and Jim Lee.
Amazing.
Never thought I'd get to meet either one of them. They're always at New York Comic Con. They're always at San Diego Comic Con. Rarely do they ever show up at MegaCon. But I got to meet them both thanks to the DC Retail Summit, which I don't know how much I can actually say about it and what went on as far as them covering it. But it was a breakdown of the DC Rebirth titles, what's coming up, how DC feels the New 52 went, what they learned, what the mistakes were, and how everything was going back to the core of the character. So it gave us a much better understanding of what the direction they were going in and how Jeff Johns really carved out the path for the next year for DC Comics. Very important meeting for a lot of the retailers, especially with the Q&A. They voiced their concerns, which they had already figured out, a lot of them. Like, yes, we know about this. This is how we're planning on fixing it.
Yes, we know.
So it was awesome to see all the other retailers, too, in the Florida area. It's a regional thing they were doing. And I do want to thank Chris and Aaron for letting me go and represent the store in that area. So, again, I can't say too much on the specifics of it, but just know that I am a little bit more excited even for Rebirth. We're already super DC fans that it's almost impossible to get us even more excited for their books. But it really gave me an understanding, and I shared, of course, with you a lot of those things that happened.
So I'll share with you guys later. You want to know what I did with my week?
What'd you do?
I worked, and I restarted Fire Emblem Rebirth.
And why'd you restart
Birthright.
Fire Emblem?
What's his name?
There's Conquest, Birthright, and the third one. But yeah, you have Birthright.
Birthright. I restarted it because I married the wrong man. I didn't realize I could marry my brother, so then I got further in the game and had already married this other guy, and then I realized I could marry my brother, and then I saw what my kid's gonna look like with my brother, and I was like, well, fuck.
I told you that you could have a kid with your brother.
I didn't believe you because you troll me all the time. This is on you.
With Lysander, that was the best. You're on the floor, like, rolling, like, no. And I'm like, and here's what your kid would look like, and you're like, he's beautiful.
He is beautiful.
And you were 9 hours in when you restarted and you said, fuck it. But you've actually gone through all the maps almost and caught up in less than 2?
Less than 1. So I'm halfway to where I was in 1 hour instead of 9 hours. But part of that's because I'm skipping all the cutscenes now because I know what happens. So I'm like, oh, skip, and skip, and skip. And they're like, and this is how you play. And I'm like, skip. I know all this. Goodbye.
So what exactly is wrong with Silas, the first guy you married?
He's too needy. He's so needy. Every time I go and, like, we're in my bedroom, he's like, you're so cute. You get cuter every day. I'm such a lucky man. Let's just call into work. I'm like, Silas, there's a fucking war going on. There's no calling into work. We gotta go.
Isn't that what women like? A guy that's just constantly complimenting them?
No, just like sometimes. I mean, sometimes I like roses, but if you brought me roses every day, I'd be like, Dan, you're wasting our money. But that being said, you can still bring me roses.
So no more Silas, putting him to the side.
No.
Figuring out that you're going to marry Lysander now.
His name's not Lysander.
What's his name then?
Riomo.
I was hoping you had forgotten so I could just say it's Lysander.
It's not Lysander. It's my brother. But he's not really my brother. Because that'd be weird.
As far as any brokettes wondering how DiDio or Jim Lee were, both very nice. The most gracious.
Why did we go back to them? I was talking about my important Fire Emblem.
Because I'm sure they're wondering, like, did you actually get to talk to them? And yeah, I got a couple of prints signed by Jim Lee, and he was exhausted, but he was really nice. And it was just exactly what I expected. I mean, it's another person, head of DC, awesome artist. He's going to be on the new Suicide Squad book. I still don't know how he's going to keep up on schedule, but I guess we're going to find out in a few months. I also want to thank Brocat Chris because he sent over a Batman the Animated Series Crazy Straw. He sent it right over, and I'm like, holy shit, this is all. I didn't know what it was. He just said, you're getting a gift. Just look out for
That's
this week.
not
Here's
creepy.
a tracking number. No, he sent stuff before. And so I opened it, and it's a little Batman, the animated series. He's hanging on the straw, and it's got the little packaging of Gotham City at the very top. Mm-hmm. I don't want to use this thing. It's so cool.
But then what are you going to drink your strawberry milk with?
I don't drink strawberry milk.
Mm-hmm.
I love this straw. I'm going to share a picture of it on Twitter and our Facebook later on this week, but definitely check that out. Huge thanks to Chris. And also, we got to see the Star Fox anime that they released this week.
That was pretty cool. You got to see Tipsy Toad and Pepperhair and Captain Falcon and Star Fox. They were all there.
It was like a good 15 minutes of
14 and some change, yep.
Computer animated anime, if that makes any sense. All of it was done through 3D rendering, but they're done in the style of anime, so you get all the different expressions. You get a love story between Peppy and General Pepper.
That was my favorite part. I'm like, what's going on here?
Go on YouTube and type in Star Fox Zero, The Battle Begins anime. You can pull it up there, Broquettes. Watch it. It is like a full episode of the first mission of the game. I don't believe this is going to be included in the game. I don't think this is just cutscenes from it. It was too put together to even weed out like, oh, well, this is where you would have gameplay. No, all of it was in there. It was fully animated. And if you've played Star Fox 64, this is essentially that very first mission with Corneria. All of the comments are saying this needs to be a full show. This needs to be on television. More of it. And of course, our comment was, so they made General Pepper and Peppy boyfriends this time around. And I think that's pretty awesome.
Because clearly they did.
Peppy has a little good luck charm that is made up of General Pepper's hair.
And? What's
That's
wrong
a love
with that?
story. That's immediately when I'm like, what the hell?
That's not weird.
Watch that, Broquettes. Let us know that is literally what it is, especially at the very end when you see this little interaction between those two characters.
Of course that's, well, and even like at the end, he's, are you okay? He was the only one concerned.
And Peppy even hung off like in the back so that his teammates wouldn't hear him.
Yep.
Even though I'm sure that's not how it works in the ships. Like they can't just overhear from their ship to the other.
From another ship, I'm pretty sure that's not how it works.
All right, so on to our news. We did just talk about Star Fox. We have some video game stuff we're going to kick it off with here. And it does relate to Batman.
A GameStop employee leaked earlier this week that Batman Arkham Asylum and Arkham City would be getting repackaged as a remastered edition for release on June 10th. Is this a reliable source, or is this just some guy who works behind the counter who's like, yeah, this is what's happening?
It's both. It's a guy that works behind the counter who says, yeah, this is what's happening, but he took a picture of the screen showing where they were going to release and pre-order the Arkham collection. And I've worked at GameStop, so I saw the screen. I'm like, yeah, that is definitely the program we used to hook that stuff up. So yeah, there is definitely a combo for these two games. And people wondering, what about Origins? That is a different studio. They wouldn't put two Rocksteady games and then the other one in one package. Some of that I'm sure would have to do with then having to pay the WB Montreal studio something out of these. But if you put the two best games in one package and still charge $60, you can get away with that.
Oh yeah, then they're still going to make tons of money too, because yes, we already have both these games. Would I consider buying them again? Yes, probably.
So what do you get with the combo pack?
So it does have extra content, included updated visuals for the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, and all previously released DLC.
Arkham City was already a gorgeous game. Mm-hmm. I can definitely see Arkham Asylum needing a little bit of an update with these new consoles, especially after you've played Arkham Knight. I've seen cutscenes of Arkham Asylum and I'm like, oh, this already looks pretty dated. Like, that's how quickly technology has moved.
Do you have any desire to get these for the PS4?
At the moment, I don't. I still have so much to do in Arkham Knight. All the Riddler trophies, so much extra content there too, as far as finding all of the different enemies in the different areas of Gotham City. So I think I want to finish all of that first. But Arkham City and Arkham Asylum were just great experiences, especially having played Arkham Knight. Going back to Arkham Asylum when you could only do single takedowns, and I don't know if I want to do that because I feel like it might ruin that memory that I had of the old Batman games. But they are excellent. If you haven't played any of the Arkham games, get this collection, play them in order, and then get Arkham Knight. If you want to play Arkham Origins too, we enjoyed it also. But definitely played in that order. Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, then Arkham Knight.
So as we mentioned in the very beginning, there is a new movie coming out. Something we are very, very excited for. And it's the first time we've seen this movie in 12 years.
Out of Japanese studio company Toho, they have shown us the full trailer to Godzilla Resurgence. They said the US had that amazing Godzilla movie that did tons of money. Now we can make our own. If you remember a year ago.
With a man in a suit.
Yes. Watch the trailer. You're watching Godzilla. They reveal Godzilla right off the bat. You see him and you think, that's a guy in a suit. That is amazing. It's another guy in a suit. They said, fuck your CGI. We're going to put a guy in a fucking suit. The tail is going to be hung up by strings just like we used to do it. And they're doing it right. Is that true, Godzilla, right there? A fucking guy in a suit.
Yes,
his arms
of course.
can't even move.
Just like waddling around. Probably sweating to death in there. Poor guy.
Now, we still liked Warner Brothers' Godzilla, right?
Yeah, it was great.
But how much cooler is old school, fucking no expression, same face, all still the whole time Godzilla?
Can you make a Godzilla roar? That's all I want to hear.
Not a good one. Not a good one. I do not. No one can do a really good Godzilla roar.
I'm sure there's somebody out there.
Even in the comics, you know what they type it out as?
What?
Skrunk. Like SKROOOOO.
Skrunk! It sounds nothing like that.
Some people have been saying that they should just do like the noise lines, where it's just a rumbling almost in the panel, and that would serve as the roar, as opposed to like spelling out the actual.
Who heard that and said, sounds like skrunk?
How would you spell it then?
Roar! Roar!
So what do you think of
R-A-A-A-H-H-H-H.
Resurgence? Is this going to be Godzilla destroying the city just like the very first original movie? Or do you think we'll see a villain pop up in this?
I think we're definitely going to see a villain pop up in this, because that's what's bringing people to these things. Yeah, Godzilla destroying shit is cool, but Godzilla destroying shit and then fighting Monster Zero? Aw, shit, man. You can't not go.
This Godzilla had the red burning effect that we saw when he was dying and he went up against Destroya. Not Destroyer, it was Destroya.
Destroya.
I think they even spelled it Y-A-H.
That's amazing.
So Destroya, he was dying from inside. He was overheating and overburning. So you saw that red energy or lava coming out of his skin. And you saw that in this one. So I don't know if they're going to touch up on that or if this is just a new look to Godzilla. It's still the same guy in an outfit, but they're adding a couple of different effects to the body itself.
Like glow sticks under the skin.
Cheap special effects.
Yep, exactly. So would Godzilla and Superman be friends then? Like overheating?
Oh, with the current Superman?
Yeah, I mean like all the Superman.
What? Explain. Why would they be friends?
Well, first, Superman's friends with everything, unless it's going after Batman. That's the only time he's not friends with it. And Superman all the time gets overheated by the sun or something. and starts to exude energy from the inside out. And that's what Godzilla does. So they could bond.
I don't know if Godzilla gets it from the sun, though. I think it just gets it from the earth.
Okay, so then they're opposites. It's perfect.
You just want to see Superman riding Godzilla.
Yes.
Just like Batman should have ridden American Godzilla.
Yes.
If they ever do a Batman v Superman 2, have Batman riding American Godzilla, fighting Superman riding Japanese Godzilla. That would split even me in half, because I'm like, I like the Japanese Godzilla, but I like Batman. So it's like I wouldn't know who to root for.
But who would win?
Batman. Batman would knock all three out.
Oh, okay. At the same time.
He would defeat Superman and Japanese Godzilla, and then he would knock out American Godzilla, because he still destroyed shit. He still destroyed less shit than Superman did in Man of Steel.
This sounds like something a 15-year-old would write. It's like Pacific Rim 2. That is what this movie would be.
Batman and a Jaeger. It would happen. That'd be the big payoff at the end. When he has to take down American Godzilla, you see the Batman Jaeger, and he's inside, and at some point Godzilla's got to be ripping off the arm, and then Batman flies out, shoots out of it, elbow to the fucking face,
and
knocks out Godzilla. Yes.
So he's essentially Krabby stomping
the Executor from Pokemon. Yes. That is Batman.
This will never happen.
If he's able to punch Superman in the face with little kryptonite suns or little red suns in his knuckles, he can fucking punch elbow Godzilla.
Hey, you do realize that Batman the Animated Series coming back will happen a billion times before this movie is made.
And I'm okay with that. I'll fuck Godzilla fighting Batman. I'll take Batman the Animated Series Season 5. I'll take that all day. So when is this set to release?
July 19th, 2016. Just in time for my birthday, bitches.
That
Japan went, happy birthday, Kelly.
We're going to have to import it, though, because that is a Japanese release date. No word yet on when it's going to get an American video
Soon.
or theatrical one.
Soon. It'll come here.
First monster, you already said you want him to fight Monster Zero if he's going to fight anyone.
He only needs to fight Monster Zero. I don't care about any of the rest of them. Maybe Mechagodzilla.
Well, with Mothra and Monster Zero being in the American Godzilla 2, we know that's going to happen. I can't wait to see that design and then compare it to, I hope they keep the classic design in the Japanese one too, with 3 heads also being held up by strings.
That was my favorite part. They made a great noise too. How did they put their noise in the comic?
I don't know. I don't read enough Godzilla comics to see Monster Zero's noises.
You need to go find this for me and let me know.
When we do get the opportunity to see Godzilla Resurgence in theaters, we like to go to AMC. Mm-hmm. And AMC recently came under some heat, including from us. We tweeted out how we did not like this move.
Wait, we did? You tweeted out. You have not heard my opinions on this.
In an interview with Variety, AMC Theaters company head Adam Aron was considering lifting the no texting ban during the movie.
Aron was quoted saying, "When you tell a 22-year-old to turn off the phone, don't ruin the movie, they hear, please cut off your left arm above the elbow. You can't tell a 22-year-old to turn off their cell phone. That's not how they live their life. We need to reshape our product in some concrete ways so that millennials go to movie theaters with the same degree of intensity as baby boomers went to the movie theaters throughout their lives."
One idea was to have select screenings that were, quote, texting friendly.
The public was very quick to react against this idea, so Adam Aron soon after made the following announcement.
Before the announcement, where do you stand on that? If they didn't go back on this, we're going to allow some texting during the movie.
Well, first, when did they actually ban texting?
They put up the thing that's all the advertisements ahead of time.
Please silence your cell phone.
Yes. When I worked at AMC, they did tell us if you're going out in the theaters and you're doing your regular watch, because you're supposed to sneak in, take a look at the picture, make sure everything's running correctly with the sound. Some people may not notice the differences because they're not there every single day. So you'd go there, you check out the sound, check out the picture. If anything was off, you call up on the radio, and someone in the booth would fix it. And they also said if you see someone out there with cell phone going off during the movie, that you are allowed to let them know, like, hey, you got to silence it, you got to turn it off. And that was kind of the procedure on that. But yeah, it's not super enforced as far as someone's always there looking and making sure. But if someone complains about you being on your phone when you're texting, yeah, they will have you turn it off.
That's silly.
Why is that silly? You're on their property, you're seeing a movie, you've all agreed to come to this dark theater to watch this movie. Turn off your fucking phone.
I don't turn off my phone. I have texted in theaters. Almost every movie I send out at least one text message. Does it ever bother you?
I've never noticed. How the fuck do you send out a text message?
I do. I send out texts. I check my Snapchats. Almost every movie we go to, I do this.
During the movie?
Yes, during the movie.
That is ridiculous.
And I don't know how... So, see, this is why, because it doesn't bother me when other people do it, because I just don't notice. I turn my screen on very low brightness, and nobody notices.
But this is talking about people that even, like, they'll have it on throughout the entire fucking movie. Texting, going on Twitter, going on Facebook, Snapchat, watching YouTube. I've seen people say, like, I've seen teens just with their headphones in and just watching YouTube instead of the movie.
Okay, did they still pay for the movie?
That's bullshit. I definitely disagree. I strongly disagree with you on this one.
I don't think it's fair to tell people, you can't do this, you can't be on your phone. I understand if it's causing a problem.
That's the whole idea.
If it's bothering people to the extent where they're like, that guy's laughing over in the corner, like you see the guy on the commercial where he's looking at his phone going, what? Like, okay, that I understand. But there are people who can do this responsibly.
There's been times where I'm looking down at the theater and then a little light pops up and of course my eye goes to it and it's someone that turned on their phone and they're going through the text. So that is already, just that moment, even if I go back to the movie, that moment is already bringing me out of the experience. And you know I'm big on that. I'm big on getting lost in the movie, watching everything, analyzing things as I go. And then I see a little fucking asshole light in the corner. That upsets me. That gets me angry. Like, we all agreed to go, again, we agreed to go in this dark room and watch this. And AMC has the right to say, turn off your phones because this is our property. These are our rules. If you don't like it, get out. We don't care if you paid. These are the rules.
I don't know. I mean, like I said, I'm one of those people who texts or looks at a Snapchat every movie we go to almost, and I'm not listening to these rules, obviously.
Apparently not.
But like you said, it doesn't bother you. You never even notice.
Well, now I'm gonna notice, and every 5 minutes I'm gonna look over like, is she doing it? Is she on her cell phone?
Okay, and now you've distracted yourself. I have not distracted you from the movie. You have distracted yourself.
So the announcement from Adam Aaron was very quickly backpedaling and saying, quote, "During the past few days, you may have heard media reports about another idea AMC Theaters was considering, testing whether some moviegoers might want texting allowed in a small section of our theaters. Unlike the many AMC advancements that you have applauded, we have heard loud and clear that this is a concept our audience does not want. In this age of social media, we get feedback from you almost instantaneously, and as such, we are constantly listening. Accordingly, such as instantaneously, this is an idea that we have relegated to the cutting room floor."
I applaud them for trying to do something different, for understanding that our society and our world is changing.
I read this as a desperate attempt to get young people back in movie theaters or getting more people back in theaters. This is in the way because you're now alienating the older people who things like cell phones are in the movie they are bothered by. That's where your money is. The parents, the older crowd. You don't want to piss them off. And this is a move to say, hey guys, we're just fucking around. It's just an idea.
They do need to get younger audiences back in there, though. And I think they will come up with an idea for it. Do I think this is it? No.
No, because no kid went, oh, I can text her in the movie? I'm going to go to AMC and watch a movie.
No, people like me went, I couldn't text her in the movie because I was doing that anyway.
Yeah, they're going to have to come up with something a little bit more concrete, something a little bit more innovative than let's allow these young kids to have their devices. And that's not the way to do it. That's an idea from someone a little bit out of touch on this. Am I the guy with the idea? Hell no. Because I'm also the guy that's saying, put off your cell phones, turn them off. I really don't know what it would be.
You don't turn off your cell phone during the movie, though.
I don't turn it off, but I do have it on silent, and I don't pull it out there in the movie.
Regardless, AMC is currently the second largest theater chain in the U.S. I think they're going to come up with something for this, though. We'll see it soon.
And with that, we have something that you and I can agree with, and that is in disagreeing with our first Nerd Rage Reaction!
For those of you who don't know what our Nerd Rage Reaction is a comment from the internet, where someone is unhappy with life and feels the need to share it with the world. And we don't care, but we find it funny and we choose to share it with you. We're not going to tell you who said it. You're welcome to search the web for it if you'd like. But this week's Nerd Rage Reaction says, millennials don't need to be catered to. They've already been catered to their entire lives. Not all, mind you, but many. Not to mention that they prefer watching movies on tiny screens. Let them stay home and watch movies on their phones while texting all they like. You can't text and watch a movie on your phone at the same time. I'm just saying.
Cater to. This is a much deeper problem for this person than the movie theaters, someone texting during it. There's a whole set of a whole can of worms in this person's life that it's like, holy shit, like he just found this opportunity to just shit on an entire generation of people.
Yep. I mean, they do realize that millennials are like, we're the next adults. We're the ones that you need to be marketing to.
Yeah, but not yet.
Not yet. We're the ones having more money now. I mean, not really. No. We're all broke. We're the ones spending more credit now.
Theoretically, yes. But yeah, this is the audience that AMC was trying not to piss off, in spite of what his reasoning was, because he is maybe the parent that is going to bring 4 kids, so that's already 5 tickets that they're buying, and then the popcorn. If anyone doesn't know, the movie theaters make most of their money from the concession stand, not the movie tickets.
Of course.
The tickets they make, I want to say when I worked at AMC, it was about 10% of ticket sales AMC would make, which over the run of the entire country is a pretty good amount, but concession stand is a much larger margin right there, because the cost of food...
Oh yeah, food
compared to what
margins
they
are
charge.
ginormous.
Yes, so that's where most of the money goes. That's where they make their profit. And who's going to have more money, the millennial or someone older that already has a family, kids, that is bringing their entire family to get the popcorn and all of that? So I get that, but sir or ma'am, you silly. You silly.
What would be smarter what would be smarter is to have an incentive. So AMC has their rewards card. Yes.
Yeah, the Stubbs card.
So do something like that for your cell phone. Make it a QR code and have incentives on there for concessions. Not necessarily just for, oh, you spend this amount of money. It should be like every X amount of visits or something along those lines where they get a discount off those things. That way you have the younger audience now can afford those concessions because they're getting a discount on them. They're still making a pretty high margin and they've brought those people into the theaters.
Or they can even add it onto the already existing Stubbs program. Spend the $100, you get $10 off anything in the theater. But something they have been doing, which I think is clever, but they need to continue with, is they used to have these advertisements of AMC Night Out or Date Night, hashtag AMC Theaters, where you would take pictures of yourself at the theater and then they would share it across their social media through those billboards and advertisements. They need to do more of that, but then start integrating that into the social network applications like Snapchat, having one of the, what are they, like the borders? I don't use it, so I'm not sure, but they can probably make a deal with Snapchat to do an AMC border.
That'd
when
be
you're
so cool.
when you're in the theater.
I feel like they have those ones, a little ghost sitting in a movie chair.
For AMC specifically?
I don't think it's for AMC specifically. I think when big movies release, they can do things with Snapchat too, where you have the special, like Jungle Book has one right now.
Yeah.
Where like you roar and you turn into, I don't know, something.
Do something with that, and then get their advertisements to say at AMC or something whenever they do tag it, or brought to you by AMC if they're at AMC theaters.
That'd be cool.
Something more along those lines.
So what they need to do is get a millennial on their staff to come up with this stuff and say, this is what we like, this is all we need. I still think, and I get, and I do agree that the $10 off when you spend $100 is cool, but it would be better if you got discounts off of things for the number of visits that you went.
That way you don't have to wait until you spend the $100.
Exactly.
You can still get like a 20% off or whatever.
Because for me, $100 sounds like a shit ton of money. Like, oh, I have to spend $100 to get to this. Or, cool, every 5th visit, I get a free popcorn. Those are two very different...
Get a free small popcorn. If you want something bigger, pay the difference.
Exactly. Those are two very different numbers in my head. And realistically, 5 visits is probably $50. You know,
right.
So say every 10 visit. Or I would probably still make it every 5 visits. That's just me.
They can even do AMC teen nights. Like, let's say on a Thursday night or on a day that they don't get too often, and then do a slight discount on the movie tickets. And then you'll have a bunch of friends
ID.
with your student ID, and then you can have... I don't know why did they stop doing student discounts?
I don't know.
I know they stopped doing it for we used to get student discounts at all times. It didn't specifically just have to be before 4 o'clock. Mm-hmm. But I know as far they don't do regular student discounts, or if they do, it's only before like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. At the time when kids are in school, when people are in school, so it doesn't make too much sense. But
so skip school, kids, and come to the movie theaters.
Bring some more of that. I used to remember when I worked at AMC, the student discount, there'd be adults, grown adults that would get the student IDs from like their college, and they would just continue to use those. And it happened so often that they were the same exact people, and they only came during matinee on top of that I'm like, I'm starting to wonder if you're actually a student. Like, it just started getting into my mind, like there's this whole network of student ID people.
Now, granted, I do still have my student ID from my first year of college, even though I have been out of that shit for a long time.
Yeah, I still have mine. Without the beard, short-ass hair.
I still look the same. I could get away with it.
Alright, DC Comics. Huge casting news for Justice League Part 1 and 2. We've got a brand new, unrevealed good guy, a protagonist, being played by fucking Willem Dafoe.
The Green Goblin, no!
So now we have the Green Goblin and Jameson in Justice
Tenzin.
League. You can choose for him to play either Jameson or Tenzin.
Ah, man, this is difficult. Because if he plays Jameson, then he can sit there and go, "Bring me Batman!" But if he plays Tenzin, he'd be all sagely and wise.
And fighting alongside the Justice League.
Yes. Ooh, I like that.
So Tenzin and the Green Goblin. And then Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman.
Yeah, the Flash, they're all there. So Hollywood Reporter expects him to show up in both parts 1 and 2.
As we mentioned, Dafoe is the second Spider-Man cast member to join, with J.K. Simmons playing Commissioner Gordon.
Next, they just need Tobey Maguire, and he can play somebody who dies. It'll be great.
He can play Darkseid, because let's face it, Superman's probably going to kill him too. He's killed every one of their enemies.
So, do you have a theory on who you think he's going to play?
My only guess, and I know it's probably incorrect, is Mr. Miracle. We know he's got to be in there if Darkseid's involved.
Yeah, I feel like he's a little too old for Mr. Miracle.
That's why I'm like, this is that, and that's my best guess.
Do you think he plays like the wizard that helps Shazam?
I don't think Shazam's in this one, but if he is, it could be. Do you see him as a voice actor for Darkseid?
It's a good guy, Danny.
Oh, that's right, good guy. Not Martian Manhunter. Some people have been saying it's Martian Manhunter. They're already using him for Supergirl, and we know now that they don't like to use the same characters.
Right. That sucks, because Martian Manhunter would be cool. I really have no clue. Not going to be Steve Trevor, but it'd be cool. Old-ass Steve Trevor.
Do you think it'll just be a supporting role like J.K. Simmons and Gordon, or do you think he'll actually be someone that's really involved with the Justice League?
I hope it's somebody that's really involved with the Justice League. That would be cool. I mean, I thought he was great as the Green Goblin, so...
He's a hell of a talent.
Yeah.
You fucking use him. Although J.K. Simmons, too. I hope Gordon's role is enormous in this, but if anything, we know he's going to be in the solo Batman movie.
What if he plays Harvey Bullock?
Then you have both of them together. Yeah, I don't know if we'll see that, but Justice League Part 1 is currently scheduled to release next year, November 17th. So we'll find out very soon. Probably in the next few months, they'll reveal, this is who Willem's playing, here's the fucking teaser.
What if he's playing old Lex Luthor, who's now a good guy?
Like he's not really dead?
Like Papa Luthor.
That'd be pretty amazing. I don't think that's it either.
Nope. What if he's Ra's al Ghul, who's decided to be a good guy?
He needs to help the Justice League to protect the Earth.
Yeah. Except he's still a bad guy.
I still want to see... You know Suicide Squad's going to be a fucking hit.
Yes.
I want to see in the future, whether Part 1 or Part 2, team up the Justice League with the Suicide Squad to bring down Darkseid. Like each team has their role to play, and they say, you know, this is our Earth 2, this is our world, we're going to help defeat this fucking asshole coming from the sky. And they both... How amazing would that be to just see them put aside their differences, especially with Batman, Harley Quinn, and the Joker, to fight off some fucking parademons?
But Joker wouldn't, like... He would fight them off, but then try to find a way to take over the world at the same time.
Of course he would. That's part of the fun.
Well, we'll see. Speaking of Joker trying to take over the world, though, or just being an asshole, Warner Brothers' latest animated film, Batman the Killing Joke, has been rated R by the Motion Picture Association of America.
Would you have it any other way?
No, of course
rated
not.
R. This book has... If you're going to adapt The Killing Joke, it has to be a rated R film. And this will also make it the first DC animated movie with an R rating. The first DC current movie with an R rating would be Batman v Superman, which is getting that cut later this year.
We do have a quote here. From the start of production, we encouraged producer Bruce Timm and our team at Warner Brothers Animation to remain faithful to the original story, regardless of the eventual MPAA rating, said Sam Register, president of Warner Brothers Animation. The Killing Joke is revered by the fans, particularly for its blunt, often shocking adult themes and situations. We felt it was our responsibility to present our core audience, the comic-loving community, with an animated film that authentically represented the tale they know all too well. And that is the right fucking attitude to have.
In this world, this sensitive world that we have, The Killing Joke, we already figured out, you could not publish that book today. People would have had a fit to see, and maybe they did. I don't know if I was, I don't think I was born at that time, but maybe there were some issues with what happened to Barbara Gordon or the amount of violence in it, but not how it would have been if this released in 2016. Will this be a problem that they're animating it or they're adapting it so close to the book that they're going to have all of those violent scenes in this movie, or do you think it's so well respected of a work that people will overlook it, and that audience themselves probably won't be watching this anyway?
I feel, and of course this is my personal opinion, but I feel that it is so respected of a work that people are going to be like, well, there it is. You know, you can look back at several books, and yes, now they're banned in school, like the older books, To Kill a Mockingbird, Huckleberry Finn, things like that. But at the end of the day, do people really go, no, these need to be gone?
Some do, but most people know.
Exactly.
No,
most people don't, because it's grown and it's respected, and we understand that was the time we were in. It's a classic. Now, I think we will hear some backlash, I'm sure. But those people, that's not the audience this is really for. Those are those are the people just trying to start a fight about these kind of things. I think the audience for this movie is going to watch this and go, holy shit, that was so much more powerful animated when we could actually see it and feel those things and live it out than the first time when I actually read it.
Do you remember that Joker month variant for Batgirl? That they immediately said, no, we're not doing that cover because of the reaction. That's the audience that, if anything, would have had an issue with this adaptation or with the Killing Joke book. But they're also not the ones buying this. I think we said back then, too, that we would have bought the variant, and people that didn't like it could just get the main cover.
Of course.
Like, where's the fucking issue here? And that's the same thing with the Killing Joke. Why would you want it downplayed and changed from the original work if you have an issue already with the original work?
Right,
you're just not going to watch it.
That's not who your audience is for. You're going to sell many, many more of these if someone who loves this book watches it and it's the same exact thing.
I've got mine pre-ordered.
Of course.
We're going to watch it that first week. We'll have a review for you guys on the Reasons I'm Broke podcast.
It'll be filled with spoilers.
Read the original work, The Killing Joke. Every Batman fan should own this book. That book, The Killing Joke, is going to sell more this year than it ever has with the trade paperback, with the hardcover, because that's only available in hardcover, so they can charge more for it. Rightfully so, because that book, anytime they announce a Suicide Squad anything, there's a bump in sales for The Killing Joke. Anytime the Joker is mentioned in media, that Killing Joke gets a bump. With this movie releasing, that trailer alone, more bumps for that book. And once that finally comes out, forever sales.
Forever sales. It's gonna get forever sales.
And good on them, because The Killing Joke is great. Pick it up if you haven't read yet. And check out that trailer. It is up on YouTube. Kevin Conroy playing Batman. Mark Hamill playing the Joker. They could not have done this.
Batman playing Batman and Joker playing the Joker.
Exactly. Could not be more perfect.
The movie will premiere at San Diego Comic-Con in July, again, for my birthday. No set release date has been announced.
Right now they're saying September, but there's still no concrete street date for the Blu-ray.
Somebody's gonna, be texting during the movie and just take a video of it and send it out. It'll be up in July.
We'll see some reviews as soon as that goes up at San Diego Comic-Con, and I can't wait.
So before we get into our Patreon shout-out, for those of you who haven't seen it yet, you can head over to YouTube and see our unboxing for the Diamond Select Toys Batman the Animated Series Mad Love statue. That is a lot of words.
That is on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/TheReasonsI'mBroke. You can also find the link to it at TheReasonsI'mBroke.com. Had a lot of fun with this statue and with the unboxing.
It's a beautiful statue. Definitely one of my favorite Harley statues that we've gotten.
You don't often see anything Harley Quinn with the red, what is that, the red negligee?
Negligee, yes.
From Mad Love. So it's cool to see that they're starting to really they're putting out every fucking version of Harley they can to sell, and we bit, We got it. Very happy with it. Very solid piece, well painted. Mm-hmm. What did we say the retail was? I think $149.99.
Yep, worth it.
It's about 12 inches tall. And as much an adaptation of Bruce Timm's original drawings, you can see the pokey nipples on it. It's like, yep, this is fucking Bruce Timm.
Bruce Timm, right there. That was better than any signature they could have put on that statue for Bruce Timm.
Yeah, pretty much. We also want to remind everyone that MegaCon 2016 is coming up next month.
Yes, so close.
If you want to meet Kelly and I, we will be there at the Blue Juice Comics booth on Thursday and Friday.
Not sure what times we're going to be there yet, because we will still have time to walk around the con and have a whole lot of fun. But MegaCon, like we've said in the past, is one of our favorite conventions. Even if you aren't going there to see us, which you should, we still recommend it to go and check out everything.
This MegaCon will be the biggest one ever. I'm looking at that guest list, and it's never been like this. And that's the influence of being bought out by Fan Expo, that you can pull these crazy, awesome guests, celebrities, artists, amazing artists. Freddie Williams is going to be at MegaCon. If you like Batman TMNT, you can get your book signed. You can get a sketch commission. Right now, he's got pre-commissions already opened up. So you can get on that list, get your commission down, and have it pretty much ready by the first or second day. He'll have that bitch finished. So I'm thinking of getting a piece done on a blank cover. Harley Quinn. And we have tons of those blank covers for Harley Quinn, so I'll probably do one of those. Or I'm thinking also Justice League. We could also get a Batman, because his Batman from Batman TMNT is amazing. Maybe Ra's al Ghul. But that is, again, at MegaCon 2016. You can also meet Tim Yates, the creator of Anne Bonny, at the Blue Juice Comics booth. Tom Mum. Say hi to them, even if we're not at the booth at the time. Check out the works. You've heard us review Anne Bonny before. You've heard us review the Accelerators. Again, that's Blue Juice Comics booth at MegaCon 2016.
And with that, we do want to give our Patreon shout-out of the week. This week it goes to John, whose Twitter handle is at John72Tex.
Huge thanks to John. Be sure to follow him on Twitter. All the Brokettes should be following one another, since we're all a broke family. All together, just fucking broke because of comics, movies, and more.
Yep.
So once again, thank you so much, John, at John72Tex. If you also want your Patreon shout out every month, that's at patreon.com/thereasonsimbroke. Right now we are working towards having alphonic audio for all of our podcasts, episodes, all of our Let's Plays, all of our unboxings. If you want a example of this, check out last week's episode compared to this week's. What Alphonic does is it levels out the audio for all of our projects.
But of course, as always, our podcast will always and forever be free. Maybe.
Always free.
Always free. The best thing you can do for us is leave us a review on iTunes. Leave us a review on whatever podcatcher you listen to us through. Let your friends know about us. Talk to us on Twitter. You guys won't be talking to me on Twitter because only 4 of you, 4 or 5, only 5 of you said I should get a Twitter. And I said 10 of you had to say something and you guys did not follow through. So you can talk to Dan on Twitter, and I will respond through him.
Is it too late? Like, if we get 5? Because not everyone listens to the podcast right away. Maybe people are still catching up to that episode.
Fine, by the end of the month. So they got 10 more days. 9 more days.
So by the end of April.
Yes. By the end of April. So by the time we're recording this, it's 9 days. Yeah, because 30 days has September, April. April only has 30 days.
So let me know on Twitter at ReasonsI'mBroke if Kelli should get her own Twitter. Otherwise, we'll just continue to share the same account and go from there. I do want to thank DecalAvenue.net for helping us with the rewards at different tiers. There are different tiers that you can back us through to get extra bonus material, one of which is at the minimum of $1, you get the podcast early. Could be a few hours early, could be a few days early. That's again at patreon.com/thereasonsimbroke.
And finally, as we mentioned in the very, very, very beginning of the show, we do have our comic book highlight of the week. This week, it is Batman Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 5 of 6.
This is written by James Tynion IV, art by Freddie Williams II, and colors by Jeremy Caldwell.
This was such a good issue.
We're one away from the very end of Batman TMNT. The stakes are high because they went to Gotham City. And they're saying it's like a trans-dimensional, they don't belong here, and their DNA is reverting. They're reverting back to their primal forms of just being turtles. But that's really Gotham City crippling them, because that's just what Gotham does. It fucks you up. And the turtles, for the turtles, it just brings them back down and crushes them into being turtles and a rat again. So that's really what's happening, let's be real. But unfortunately, it's already starting to affect 1 or 2 of the turtles. You'll find out as you read it. And Batman is starting to run out of time because he does care about these turtles, but he's also like, I don't care about the Shredder. I'll take care of him. You guys go back home. I've dealt with worse. He's already assumed that there's worse. And I'm guessing that's because Shredder yelled at him and then ran off, like smoke bombed off instead of facing Batman.
We do get to see some introductions of some pretty cool characters, though. So last week we had that huge reveal, blew our minds. This week, Damian shows up.
Hell yeah, Damian Wayne, Robin himself, in Batman TMNT. You get to see how he reacts to giant turtles in his fucking cave. So it's all in there. If you're not reading Batman Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, you have to be. It's been such a fun series.
So good. And I understand there's such different worlds, but they feel like they just fit perfect. It's like, can this just be all the time, guys?
I don't want it to end. Only 6 issues, and believe me, this won't be it.
Hopefully.
That's all I have to say about that.
And can I just say the last page of this issue was like the coolest page I've ever seen.
Very, very awesome transformations. Read Batman TMNT. It's already, every single issue goes out of print and goes to 2nd, 3rd, 4th printing. It's sold so well for DC and IDW. So if you're not getting those first prints, get on them while you can. Otherwise, if you don't care about that, you just want to read the story and enjoy the comic, there's tons of different printings out there, and they each come with different colored covers. So some of them actually look cooler than the full colored cover. There's one that's like all black and white.
That's cool.
One that's in like sepia tone. It's really, they did a good job with the second printings and thirds. They didn't just change the background to red.
Is there like a burnt sienna?
What's a burnt sienna?
That's another color. That's the only cool color I know.
What color is that? Like a red or?
It's like a sepia.
Oh, well, yeah, that's the same fucking thing.
But it's called burnt sienna.
That's such a... I don't even know what to call that.
Okay, I'm not an art anything. I can draw stick figures and stick figure Buzz Lightyear and a smiley face. That is the limit of my artistic abilities.
So that is our comic book highlight and the podcast for this week. We do want to thank all the listeners for tuning in, all of our Patreon backers, all of our Twitter followers. If you're not following us on Twitter, that's @ReasonsI'mBroke. Or if you only have Facebook, facebook.com/TheReasonsI'mBroke. Interact with us there. Let us know what you thought of the episode, what you thought of the AMC texting with Godzilla Resurgence, the Star Fox video. If Kelli should get a Twitter, you still have until the end of the month. All of that on our different links.
You can also go to thereasonsi'mbroke.com. You can see every single place you can find us up there, all the different podcatchers. The link to our Patreon is up there. But of course, like we said, the best thing you can do for us is just leave us a review and let your friends know. The more followers we get, the more things we can do for you guys.
We've also had some feedback on the new opening and the new closing for the show. Keep sending that because I will use this as information when we do more of this newer upgrades, newer jingles, that kind of thing in the future. So if you like the newer openings or you didn't, or the show itself, if you have some feedback, we're always open to feedback. Send that our way.
So guys, that will do it for us this week. Thank you so much for your continued support. I'm Kelli.
And I'm Daniel.
We'll see you next week.